Never doubt the ferocity of a mother's love. Never doubt the determination of a woman who quietly stood up to everyone asking why and asked why not. Never doubt Wilma Martin, whose baby girl Judy was developmentally disabled, who spotted something important in a magazine.
I read an article in the Women's Home Companion, I think it was, about the National Association for Retarded Children. It was new, and it was a grassroots effort from parents in communities that had organized, and they felt like they needed to carry it on to the national level. And they sent me a packet with everything that was needed. And busy as I was with Judy, because I had been terribly busy with her. She also was partial sighted when she was born. And I just filed the material away because I just was too busy and didn't know where to go from there.
Wilma was the founder and original matriarch of the Arc of Sedgwick County. In the early 1950s, she quietly, relentlessly put her hand up and waited for Wichita to call on her.
I had a brand new baby, and she was a Down syndrome. At that time, they called them mongoloids. And they told her to leave it at the hospital until they could find a place for it, not to take it home. And so she didn't. But after a little while, they decided they wanted that baby home, and they were going to get her and take care of her because they could. And so they brought the baby home. And she went down to Innis's. At that time, they had a book department, and she asked them, "Do you have any books on Mongolism?" And she told her she had this new baby and she needed help. And she says, "No, but I have a name for you." I had another mother come in a while back wanting the same information. And she left her name and telephone number, said if anyone ever came in wanting help, to have them call her, that they could talk to each other. Well, those two mothers knew a couple, three other mothers, so they had a coffee. And they got so much out of just talking that they decided to put an article in the Eagle that they were going to have this evening meeting and see what would happen. I just had a call from a lady that wants me to come and talk to a group of parents about retarded children and what goes on at Winfield and all. And she said, "Will you go with me?" And I said, "Oh, I'd love to." So I get my little packet of material out and go to this meeting with her. And there were 37 parents showed up that night.
Was it chance or fate or the hand of God that lit this tiny flame? But from this furnace fueled by a mother's love, Wilma Martin forged a backbone of elegantly tempered steel that cleanly sliced through the myths and misconceptions that limited the special needs community. All these years later, the ache is still real. The longing for something better, still a driving force.
The public schools did not offer anything except what they called an ungraded classroom. And Judy had just been put into the ungraded classroom. She was probably 9, 10 years old. And while it was all right, I was very unhappy. I cried a lot of tears because here was my little old curly-headed girl going to school with boys who were bigger than her dad, and they were all crowded into maybe one room.
But by 1953, Wilma, with the help of a community advisory board, had organized the Arc of Sedgwick County, and as its first president, she began to scout a trail of insight, inclusion, industry, and independence.
Our children were all, my daughter was 13 by then, and our kids were all anywhere from babies to 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids, and some even older than that. Well, in fact, I know of one that was in his late 20s because he still is with us, and he and my daughter have been friends all these years. And So we decided that we couldn't let it happen to the little ones that were just coming on, what had happened to our kids. So we started with preschool.
Wilma Martin and her band of parents rejected desperation and instead chose determination. And just look at how the Arc has grown. In Wilma's words, unbelievable. From that first preschool to becoming the largest case management provider in the state. From serving a few hundred clients at a handful of social events to thousands at more than 600 innovative programs and events every year. From the creation of the first sheltered workshop in the state to the nationally known YES program, youth education and summer socialization, and on to the inventive Circle of Friends mentoring initiative that pairs a special needs student with a regular ed buddy to normalize the mainstream school experience. Wilma Martin is gone, but not forgotten. She lives on every day at the Arc of Sedgwick County and the families that go there for services and support. The Arc is more than just a service agency. It functions as a genuine community for this special population and provides thousands of Sedgwick County residents the opportunity to be valuable, contributing participants in our society. It is a dynasty of inspired families who foster Wilma Martin's legacy of hope.